Hello students, I am Pawan Kumar Singh, your physics teacher from Shyoti Educational Group Kota. Today we will take chapter number 2 units and measurement. As I have already explained you chapter number 2 that is units and measurement through the video lecture. Hope you all have understood it well. So today we are back with its exercise question and answer and I am going to explain each of these to you. So start the chapter with question number 1. Question number 2.1. This is the fill in the blank in which four questions are given. The part 1 is the volume of a cube of side 1 centimeter is equal to how many meter cube? Second, the surface area of the solid cylinder of radius 2 centimeter and height 10 centimeter is equal to, you have to find out. Third one, a vehicle moving with a speed of 18 km per hour covers dash meter in 1 second. And last one, the relative density of lead is 11.3. Its density is dash gram per centimeter cube or dash kilogram per meter cube. Now come to the first part of this question. As we already know that 1 centimeter equals to 1 upon 100 meter and the formula of the volume is length cube. So volume of the cube is 1 centimeter cube if its length is 1 centimeter. But 1 centimeter cube equal to 1 centimeter into 1 centimeter into 1 centimeter, that is equals to 1 upon 100 meter into 1 upon 100 meter into 1 upon 100 meter. Therefore, 1 centimeter cube equals to 10 to the power minus 6 meter cube. As we already know, the formula of surface area of solid cylinder is 2 pi rh plus 2 pi r square. In simplified form, it is 2 pi r bracket start r plus h. Now put the values, but remember one thing, we should consider the units of length in mm, not in centimeter, because our requirement is to calculate the area of solid cylinder in mm square form. So in 1 centimeter there is 10 mm. So put the values. This is 2 into 22 upon 7 into 2 into 10. Into 10 is because we have to convert these values. These value means centimeter values in mm. So 2 into 10 into 10 plus 2 into 10 bracket close mm square. After simplify we get 1.5 into 10 to the power 4 mm square. Hence the answer is 1.5 into 10 to the power 4. Now the third part of the question. As we already know, the 1 kilometer per hour equals to 5 upon 18 meter per second. So 18 kilometer per hour equal to 18 into 5 upon 18 meter per second. It means this is equal to, after simplify, 5 meter per second. Therefore, the distance can be obtained using this relationship, that is distance equal to speed into time. The time is 1 second and speed is 5 meter per second. So distance will be 5 into 1, that is 5 meter. Hence the vehicle covers 5 meter in 1 second. Now come to the fourth part of this question. Relative density of the substance is given by the relation, that is relative density equal to density of the substance upon density of water. As we already know, the density of the water is 1 gram per centimeter cube. So the density of the lead equal to relative density of the lead into density of water. And relative density is 11.3. So this will be 11.3 into 1, that is 11.3 gram per centimeter cube. Now we have to convert this answer is in kilogram per meter cube also. So 1 gram equal to 1 upon 1000 kg. So 1 centimeter cube equals to 10 to the power minus 6 meter cube. Now put these values. 1 gram per centimeter cube equal to 10 to the power minus 3 upon 10 to the power minus 6 kg per meter cube. That will be equal to 10 to the power 3 kg per meter cube. It means 11.3 gram per centimeter cube equals to 11.3 into 10 to the power 3 kg per meter cube. Now come to the second question. Question number 2, again this is the fill in the blank type question. We have to convert these units. First is 1 kg meter square per second square equals to dash gram centimeter square per second square. 1 meter equal to dash light year. 3 meter per second square equal to dash kilometer per hour square. And g equal to 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 newton meter square per kg square equal to dash centimeter cube per second square per gram. Now solve one by one. As we already know that 1 kg equal to 10 to the power 3 gram and 1 meter square equal to 10 to the power 4 centimeter square. Now put these values. 1 kg meter square per second square equal to 1 kg into 1 meter square into 1 per second square. That is equals to 10 to the power 3 gram into 10 to the power 4 centimeter square into 1 second square. That is 10 to the power 7 gram per centimeter square per second square. Now the second part, light year. Light year is the total distance traveled by the light in 1 year. That is 1 light year equal to speed of light into 1 year. And the speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. And 1 year, convert 1 year into the seconds, that is 365 into 24 into 60 into 60. Now, after simplify these quantities, we get 9.46 into 10 to the power 15 meter. Now come to the further explanation of this one. If 1 meter light year equals to 9.46 into 10 to the power 15 meters, so 1 meter equals to 1 upon 9.46 into 10 to the power 15. That is equal to 1.057 into 10 to the power minus 16 light year. Now, third part, 1 meter equals to 10 to the power minus 3 kilometer, we already know. And 1 second equal to 1 upon 3600 hour. So 1 3 meter per second square. Convert meter into kilometer such that 1 meter equals to 10 to the power minus 3 kilometer. And second into hour. So this will be 3 into 10 to the power minus 3 kilometer upon 1 upon 3600 square r square. That will be equal to 3 into 3600 into 3600 into 10 to the power minus 3 kilometer per hour square. Solve this one, we get 3.88, or in approximate we can say 3.9 into 10 to the power 4 kilometer per hour square. Next one, universal gravitational constant, which is represented by capital G. The value of capital G is 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square per kg square. Now, we already know the Newton is the unit of force. This is the SI unit of the force, and another unit of force is kilogram meter per second square. So it will be 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 kilogram meter per second square into meter square per kilogram square. Now solve this one. 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 per kg meter cube per second square. Now it will be 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 meter cube per kg per second square. Now this will, the final result will be 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 8 centimeter cube. There is a printing error. This is not centimeter to the power minus 3. This is centimeter to the power plus 3. Okay, please correct it. So this will be 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 8 centimeter cube per second square per gram. Question number 3. A calorie is a unit of heat or energy and it equals to about 4.2 joule, where 1 joule equals to 1 kilogram meter square per second square. You should remember this value, that 1 calorie equals to 4.2 joule. Now suppose we employ a system of units in which the unit of mass equals alpha kg, the unit of length equals beta meter, and the unit of time is gamma second. show that a calorie has a magnitude 4.2 alpha inverse beta to the power minus 2 gamma square in terms of new unit. It means in place of kg we have to use the new unit will be alpha kg, in place of meter the new unit will be beta meter, and in place of second we will use gamma second. Now 1 calorie equals to 4.2 kilogram meter square per second square. Now we have to take two table, in which first one the table will be SI and the second table the heading will be new system. In first system the constant value is 4.2 and the unit of mass which we will take is kg, the length 1 meter and the time is 1 second. New system, we don't know the constant value, so this is the question mark, n2 is the question mark. The new dimension of mass is alpha kg, or you can say the new unit of the mass is alpha kg. The new unit of length is beta meter, and the new unit, that is unit of time, is gamma second. Now the dimensional formula of energy is m to the power 1 L square t to the power minus 2. Now what we have to do, we have to take the dimensional formula of the new system as m to the power a, L to the power b and t to the power c. Now compare the dimensional formula of these two systems. If we compare m to the power a, L to the power p, t to the power c by m to the power 1, L to the power 2 and t to the power minus 2, we get a equals to 1, b equals to 2 and c equals to minus 2. Now apply the method. We have to calculate the value of n2. We can easily calculate the value of n2 by using this formula. n2 is equals to n1 square bracket start m1 divided by m2 to the power a, l1 divided by l2 to the power b and t1 divided by t2 to the power c. Actually this formula is like in this form. Please listen carefully. m2 to the power a into L2 to the power B into T2 to the power C into N2 is equals to N1 M1 to the power A into L1 to the power B and T1 to the power C. After simplification, we get the result that N2 equals to N1 square bracket start M1 upon M2 to the power A, L1 upon L2 to the power B and T1 upon T2 to the power C. Now put the values. The value of N1 is 4.2. Now put the dimensional formula, put the unit of the M1 and M2, L1, L2 and T1, T2, which we have given already. The M1 is kg, L1 is meter, T1 is second, M2 is alpha kg, L2 is beta meter and T2 is gamma second. Kg will get cancelled out, will get cancelled out and SS will get cancelled out. We get N2 equal to 4.2 alpha to the power minus 1, beta to the power minus 2 and gamma square. I think you got my point. Question number 4. Explain this statement clearly. The statement is to call a dimensional quantity large or small is meaningless without specifying a standard for comparison. In view of this, reframe the following statement wherever necessary. And there are total 6 statements are here. We will discuss these statements in the answer part. So the question is, if any quantity and you are saying about this quantity that this quantity is very large or very small, you should compare that quantity with any reference quantity. It means without reference quantity you can't say that a particular quantity is very large or very small. You should consider any reference quantity. So come to the answer. The given statement is very true because dimensional quantity may be large or small, but in comparison to some standard reference. For example, the coefficient of friction is a dimensionless. The coefficient of sliding friction is greater than the coefficient of rolling friction, but less than the static friction. Actually, without specifying the standard for comparison, it is not possible to get an exact idea about the magnitude of dimensional quantity. Now come to the statement. First statement, the size of atom is atom are very small object. The answer will just like that the size of atom is much smaller than even the sharp tip of a pin, or you can say the atom is very small object in comparison to the sugar bowl. Second, a jet plane moves with a great speed. Again, this is incomplete. Now complete this sentence. A jet plane moves with a speed greater than that of bicycle. See, the mass of the Jupiter is very large. Again, this is incomplete sentence. There is no comparison. We have to compare. Now the answer will be the mass of Jupiter is very large as compared to the mass of a cricket ball. D. The air inside this room contain a large number of molecules. Again, large number of molecules, but in comparison to what? So the complete sentence will be the air inside the room contain a large number of molecules as compared to that present in a geometry box. E. A proton is much more massive than electron. Okay, we have already compared, we have already taken the reference quantity which is electron here. So this sentence is correct. The speed of sound is much smaller than the speed of light. Again, this is the complete sentence. So there is no correction in E and F. Now come to the next question, question number 5. A new unit of length is chosen such that the speed of light in vacuum is unity. We already know that the speed of light in vacuum is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, but in this case we have to take the speed of light in vacuum as unity, that is 1 unit. Now what is the distance between the sun and earth in terms of new unit of light if it takes 8 minutes and 20 seconds to cover this distance? Now we already know that the distance between the sun and earth will be speed of light into time taken by light to cover the distance. Now the speed of light is 1 unit and the time taken is 8 minutes 20 seconds. So convert 8 minutes 20 seconds into second. It will be 480 plus 20, that is 500 seconds. Now the distance between the sun and earth is 1. This is the speed of light into 500. That is 500 unit is the answer. Question number 6. Which of the following is the most precise device for measuring the length? Actually, for measuring any length or for measuring any quantity, we use such type of device which gives the most precise result. Now we have three options. First is a vernier caliper with the 20 division on the sliding scale. B. A screw gauge of pitch 1 mm and 20 division on the circular scale. And an optical instrument that can measure the length to within a wavelength of the light. So first of all we have to calculate the least count of each scale. The device which give the minimum least count will be the most precise for the measuring of length. So come to the vernier scale. The formula to calculate the least count of the vernier scale is 1 divided by total number of division on the sliding scale. These are 20, which is already given. So the least count of the vernier scale will be 1 upon 20, that is equal to 0.05 mm, that is equals to 5 into 10 to the power minus 5 meter. Now this is the least count of vernier scale. Now come to the least count of screw gauge. The formula to calculate the least count of the screw gauge is pitch number divided by number of division on a circular scale. Now the pitch is already given is 1 mm and convert mm into meter, that is 10 to the power minus 3 meter divided by 100 division. It will be 1 into 10 to the power minus 5 meter. This is the least count of the screw gauge. Third one, the least count of an optical instrument. Now it is already given that the average that we have to take the wavelength of a visible light. An optical instrument that can measure the length of the within a wavelength of the visible light. It means the wavelength of the visible light is approximate 6000 Armstrong, and 1 Armstrong equal to 10 to the power minus 10 meter. So 6000 Armstrong equal to 6 into 10 to the power minus 7 meter, and it is the least count of an optical instrument. Now compare all the three least count. Okay, it means we can easily say that optical instrument has the minimum least count in comparison to remaining two instrument. It means optical instrument is the most precise device out of the three instrument which is given to us. Question number 7. A student measures the thickness of a human hair by looking at it through a microscope of magnification 100. Magnification is the value of m, which represent the value of increase in size of the image. If suppose the object height is shown by the microscope is 100 centimeter and the magnification of the microscope is 100, it means in really, or you can say in actually, the height of the object will be 100 divided by 100, that is 1 centimeter. Okay, now he makes the 20 observation and find that the average width of the hair in the field of view of the microscope is 3.5 mm. What is the estimate on the thickness of hair? Now the magnification is 100, it is already being given. Now the average width of hair in the field of view of the microscope equal to 3.5 mm. Now the actual thickness of hair will be observed thickness divided by the magnification, that is equals to 3.5 upon 100, that is equals to 0.035 mm. This is the actual thickness of hair. Now come to the question number 8. Answer the following. There are three questions. You are given a thread and a meter scale. How will you estimate the diameter of the thread? Okay. Now one by one we will discuss each question. So come to the part A. Answer of the part A. Now the thread is wound on the meter scale so that its turns are as closed as possible. The thickness L of the thread coil is measured and the number of turns are N of the thread coil is counted. The thickness of thread will be L upon N, that is the length of thread upon number of turns. This is the formula. Now come to the B part of the question. Question is, a screw gauge has a pitch of 1 mm and 200 division on the circular scale. Do you think that it is possible to measure the accuracy of the screw gauge arbitrarily by increasing the number of division on the circular scale? Basically, this is the practical based question. It is if we will consider that the least count of the screw gauge, it will be pitch upon number of division on the circular scale. Theoretically, it appears that the least count can be decreased by increasing the number of division on the circular scale. But practically, it may not be possible to take the reading precisely due to the low resolution of an human eye. Now come to the C part of the question. Question is, the where is the question? Yeah, the mean diameter of a thin brass rod is to be measured by vernier caliper. Why is a set of 100 measurement of the diameter expected to yield a more reliable estimate than a set of 5 measurements only? This is the answer. Actually, the larger the number of readings, closer is the arithmetic mean to the true value, and hence the smaller the random error. Hence, the result with the set of 100 measurement is more reliable than with a set of 5 measurement. I think you got my point. Question number 9. The photograph of a house occupies an area of 1.75 centimeters square on a 35 mm slide. The slide is projected on a screen and the area of house on the screen is 1.55 meters square. What is the linear magnification of the projected screen arrangement? Now in question we have given the area of the house on the photograph, which is 1.75 centimeters square, and the size of the slide is 35 mm, and we project this image of the slide on a screen, and the area of the house will become 1.55 meters square. Now we have to calculate the magnification of the projector. Now the size of the object is 1.75 centimeters square. It is given, and the size, if first of all convert this into the meter square, it will be 1.75 into 10 to the power minus 4 meter square, and the size of the image is 1.55 meter square. Now come to the aerial magnification. Aerial magnification is nothing, it is just only the ratio of the size of image upon the size of object. Now the size of image is 1.55 and the size of object is 1.75 into 10 to the power minus 4. Now solve this one, we get 8857. This is the aerial magnification. Now the relation between the aerial magnification and linear magnification is that linear magnification is equals to the square root of the aerial magnification, and we have already calculated the aerial magnification, that is 8857. So linear magnification will be under root of 8857, that is equals to 94.11. This is the linear magnification, or you can say this is the linear magnification of the projector screen arrangement. Now come to the question number 10. We have to find out the number of significant figure in the following. There are total 6 numbers, and we have to calculate the significant figure for each of the following. Now come to the part A. In part A, the number is 0.007 meters square. There is only one significant figure, that is 7. If the number is less than 1, then all the zeros on the right of the decimal point are insignificant. This means that here two zeros after the decimal are not significant. Hence only 7 is the significant figure in this quantity. Now come to the B. Number is 2.64 into 10 to the power 24 kg. Here total 3 significant figure, 2, 6 and 4. Basically the power of 10 is irrelevant for the dimensions of a significant figure. Hence all the digits, that is 2, 6, 4 are significant figure. Now come to the C. The quantity is 0.2370 gram per centimeter cube. And here the significant figures, total number of significant figures are 4, that is 2, 3, 7 and 0. For a number with decimals, the trailing zeros are significant. Hence the beside the digits 2, 3 and 7, 0 that appears after the decimal point is also the significant figure. Now come to the D, that is 6.320 joule. Here 4 significant figure which are 6320. Now for a number with the decimals, the trailing zeros are significant. Hence all 4 digits appearing in the given quantity are the significant figure. Now come to the question number E. The value is 6.032 Newton per meter square, and here is also the 4 significant figure. The values are 6, 0, 3 and 2. All the zeros between the two non-zero digits are always significant. Now the last one. Value is 0.006032 meter square. Here is also the 4 significant figure which are 6032. If the number is less than 1, then the zeros on the right of the decimal point are insignificant. Hence all 3 zeros appearing before 6 are not significant figure. All zeros between the two non-zero digits are always significant. Hence the remaining 4 digits are significant figures. Question number 11. The length, breadth and thickness of a rectangular sheet of a metal are 4.234 meter, 1.005 meter, this is the breadth, and 2.01 meter, this is the thickness, respectively. We have to given the area and the volume of the sheet to a correct significant figure. You are thinking that what a silly question, but question is very good. we have to calculate the area, but in correct significant figure. No, we no need to calculate just only the area, but we have to calculate the area and volume in the correct significant figure. So we already know the value of LBH are given. Now convert these value in the SI unit, that is meter. So length will be 4.234 meter, breadth will be 1.005 meter, and height will be 2.01 centimeter, that will be 0.0201 meter. The formula of area of sheet is 2 bracket start LB plus BH plus LH bracket close. Now put the values of LBH. That will be 2 bracket start 4.234 into 1.005 plus 1.005 into 0.0201 plus 0.0201 into 4.234. After putting these value, we get the area equals to 8.7209,478 meter square. Now we have to round off this result up to the three significant figure. Okay, so the answer will be 8.72 meter square. This is the area of the sheet. Now come to the volume of the sheet. The formula to calculate the volume is LBH. So put the values of L, B and H. We get 0.08555289 meter cube. Now again rounded off up to the three significant figure. The correct answer is 0.0855 meter cube. There are three significant figure which are 855. Now come to the question number 12. The mass of a box measured by a grocer's balance is 2.3 kg. Two gold pieces of masses 20.15 gram and 20.17 gram are added to the box. What is the total mass of the box and the difference in the masses of the piece up to the correct significant figure? It means this question is also based on the significant figure. We have to use the concept of arithmetical operation related to the significant figure and multiplication etc. So the total mass of the box will be 2.3 kg plus 0.02015 plus 0.02017 kg. It will be 2.34032 kg. Now the result has been rounded off to the first place of the decimal place because 2.3 kg of the box has the digits up to the this place of decimal. So the answer will be 2.3 kg. Now come to the difference of in masses. The difference of masses of two gold pieces is 20.17 minus 20.15, that is 0.02 gram. In subtraction, the final result should retain as many decimal places as there are in the number with the least decimal places. Now come to the question number 13. A physical quantity P is related to four observables A, B, C and D as follows. It means the relation between P and A, B, C, D is given here. That is P equal to A cube B squared divided by under root C into D. Now the percentage error of measurement in A, B, C and D are 1%, 3%, 4% and 2%. It means this question is based on the percentage error. Now what is the percentage error in the quantity P? If the value of P is calculated using the above relation turns out to be 3.763, to what value should you round off the result? Now come to the equation is P equals to A cube B square upon under root C into D. The percentage error in the quantity P is given by 100 into del P upon P equals to 3 into 100 into del A upon A plus 2 into 100 into del B upon B plus half into 100 into del C upon C plus 100 into del D upon D. Now put the values. This will be 3 into 1 plus 2 into 3 plus half into 4 plus 2. Now after solving this one we will get the 13%. This is the answer. Now come to the second part of the question. The value of P is given by 3.763. Now by rounding off the given value to the first decimal place, we get P equals to 3.8. So there are only two significant figure in the percentage error. Hence the P should also be rounded off up to the two significant figure. So P equal to 3.8.